What's going on? What's going on? It's your man Mal C219 TV Midwest Connected, man. GI for life. But we bring you the latest topics and trends through a Midwest lens. And let's not forget, GoFundMe is not life insurance. Any life insurance courses, you can hit me at MrCheek683 at gmail.com or drop some information in the chat so we can get back with you and discuss anything you might want to know about current policies or anything like that. But as you know, here at Chiefs for Life, we tap into many things. We also tap into everybody got that entrepreneur spirit. We talk about making the bag, dropping the bag, blowing the bag, and ways to protect your money going on. So in this fight, in this thing with DJ Envy, in this financial situation with Cesar, it's it came up. A lot of them was in that circle. So we got the dudes from EYL, and they're gonna talk to MJ, the mortgage guy. But they also want to tap on: is this the time to buy a house? The way the stock market going, things going on right now, but we tapped into that world. So drop something in the comments if you got something that we should be looking at, and information we be bringing you on that tip. As far as stock market, anything information you got, we welcome that too, because it's each one teach one over here. You feel what I'm saying? But anyway, the guys from EYL, they talking about is this the time to buy a house? And they also because they had a thing with DJ Envy. He was saying how he made them, he did this and that. So it was a little smoke up in there. They was all doing these conferences together, these Black Money conferences. So did this set that movement back a little bit? But they got them and they got their views on it. So I want to know that they dropped some jewels in here. So shout to EYL, fair use. Shout to the guy Ian, because he from East Chicago, 219 represents. So he definitely Midwest connected. Hey man, tap in with your boy, man. Help me learn how to get some of this money, man. But we're gonna let this video run. Y'all let me know what you think. Drop something in the comments. Is this the time to buy a house, rent, or what's going on in this market? But they also gonna talk about this flipping and investing and how they doing in this scamming world.
To my JP Morgan family, November 4th, I have an event with them. And if I've made you money, please put yes in chat. We are not them. See, when they get coverage on Good Morning America, it's for great reasons. You know what I'm saying? It hit different when you do honorable business.
Yeah, you talking crazy.
Boy, put up a house. Yeah, go get a Monopoly board. So she made everything. Shout out to Ally.
He talking about DJ Envy, so he made
the Ally. Our partners on the Market Mondays tour.
Boy,
do your research.
Like when you got the car on the Monopoly board, the purpose was to get the houses, right?
Houses to the hotel, yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. He playing reverse Monopoly. It's a Ponzi. Let's get to the show.
That's crazy.
Boy, if I've made you money, please put yes in chat. If you don't see a preponderance of evidence of people talking and saying that, stay away. Please stay away.
Preponderance. Great word.
Yeah.
Great word.
For sure. For sure.
All the financial guys beef. One of the closer was in this circle too.
Cool. Yes. I'm actually moderating a panel too this Friday. For the African American men of Westchester.
That's
go to the aamw.com to get details. But I'm moderating a panel with
some. Been for a long time, man.
The first time I actually moderated a panel for them.
You did the Olympics with them.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So, real estate.
We gotta get to it.
Let's get to some real estate.
All my real estate and my guys in the real estate. This is a real good
Not
video.
Not that type of real estate. Actual real estate.
Me and Shotty both gonna get in the mood one day. Boy, reveal a lot of secrets. Boy.
Ownership of real estate.
Let's talk about real estate, shall we? So the Wall Street Journal had an interesting article where they said that there's never been a worse time to buy instead of rent. So put a post up and the post just went crazy as soon as you put it up. That's obviously a very controversial title, right? Where they were saying that in this day and age, it's 52% more costly to buy a home as opposed to rent. That's the highest gap since 1996, and that's obviously because
all
of
houses are
higher
up right now
interest rates and a variety of other factors. But They were saying that even, traditionally, you would think that that would be beneficial for landlords, but that's not necessarily the case because landlords are struggling nationwide. And that
Say
is
landlords are
because of
struggling.
an oversupply of rental properties and rising vacancy
Mhm.
predictions, amongst other things. So it was a very interesting, conversation that we was having online, and a lot of people, whenever you put those type of posts up, people kind of get mad and was like, no, it always makes sense to buy real estate. Like you always have to buy real estate. I even saw Ish from Joe Button's podcast put up
Yeah.
5 question marks. So people were
You counted them.
people always a little concerned about you. How can you question real estate? You can't question real estate.
Yeah.
It's like
Question the terms.
spitting that guy.
Yeah.
Get it in the face when it was over your head. Shout
Yeah.
out to Jay.
Shout out to, yeah. I mean,
But
yeah, go ahead.
there's a variety of different factors that go into this situation. So without further ado,
Can we bring somebody
we
else?
brought an expert to talk about it.
Drop
We're
something in
gonna
the
start this
comments. All my
episode
people
off
that
right
own
away.
real
We're gonna not waste any time. So
Yes.
we are bringing on MG, the mortgage guy.
Friend to the show.
My brother, how you doing?
Family, what's going on, y'all?
M Jizzle, what's going on, man?
My guys with another sold out show in
you.
Chicago.
This is true. The rumors are true.
The
Yes.
rumors
yeah.
are true.
They just
Biggest
did
ever.
EYL back in
Good to
Chicago.
see you, man.
Always a pleasure, my brother. How are you, Ian?
We've been on them
Good.
for a minute.
So let's talk about this. All right. Real estate is something that everybody has been talking about for a long time, and obviously we know that that's something that's extremely important as far as building wealth and bridging the wealth gap and home equity, and it's a variety. Everybody knows why real estate is good at this point, right? Or can be good. But it's some disturbing times that we're living in. Stock market has corrected itself several different times over the last decade. Real estate
Stock
has never
market
really
crazy.
crashed since 2008. Real
Mhm.
estate prices continue to go up, right? Even when the economy is slowing down, it has no signs of slowing down, or at least fully crashing or pulling back. Even though people are not making as much money year over year, right? It's not like people are making tremendously more money.
Yep.
Inflation is a huge problem. Inflation's been going crazy. Interest rates have been going up. So at a certain point, it becomes hard to justify buying real estate, right? So I want to get your take on. I have my views on this, but I want to let you start the conversation, and then we'll just take it from there.
Yeah. First, thanks for having me on the show, guys. I really appreciate it. I really feel as if, look, I always say the same thing: don't buy nothing you can't afford, right? And we are in inflationary times right now. It's no denying that. The store prices are crazy. Anything you look to buy is high right now. Real estate is one of those things that is going to continue to rise, in my opinion, because of simple supply and demand.
Yeah.
There's not enough supply out there for even the little bit of demand that's out there right now. And there is still a lot of demand out there in the market, even with interest rates being at 8% right now for a 30-year conventional mortgage. And that's with an excellent credit score of 760, right? So we have this argument, and I saw your post, and the comments is just like, I mean, the comments are going crazy, and everybody's going to always have this debate. Well, should you buy? Should you rent? Well, you got to do something. If you rent, you're paying somebody's mortgage regardless. That's just how I look at it. So if you are going to pay somebody's rent, me personally, I'd rather you pay or pay somebody's mortgage. I'd rather you pay your own mortgage and own the house. Now, obviously, you don't want to buy nothing that you can't afford. But if you can't
So
afford it,
still
I
buy
still
a
think you
house,
should
just
go
don't
out
get
there
overpriced.
and buy, but just make sure you're really focusing more on the deal in today's market, not really focused on too much of the interest rate, but you got to focus on the numbers. You got to focus on the deal. You always got to remember
It's a
real
numbers
estate
game.
is, especially a mortgage, you can always refinance a mortgage if you qualify at
If
some
you
point.
qualify.
As very
Key
important,
word, you have
if
to
you qualify,
qualify
right? Because a
to
refinance is not a
refinance.
guarantee. It's not something that you could just walk into the bank and say, hey, rates are 5% right now, refinance my mortgage. No, you still have to go through a qualification process. but you always have to keep that in your back pocket. Today's 7-8% mortgage rate can easily be 4 or 5% when that market drops. Now, what I would tell everybody who's watching this, and I'll tell you guys this too, what do you think is going to happen when these rates do drop? A year from now, 2 years from now? What do you think is going to happen? Prices are going to go just like this.
Go up.
So
They're
when
going
they do
to they're
drop
going
the
to
rates, they're gonna
skyrocket.
raise the prices
So
even
I
more.
think we're in a position right now, in all honesty, if you do not buy something right now while there is less competition in the
This
market
is set
with
up to
higher
get wet
interest
up.
rates, you could be priced out even worse than you are today in 2 to 3 years from now. So for me, I'm always going to encourage, especially Black and brown people, to go out there and buy real estate because our wealth is trapped in the real estate market.
They say we look like relatives, so I got to ask the question. What do you say to everyone who says you just say that because you're in the real estate industry?
Yeah, I get that all the time too, and I love that, right?
That's the question to be asked.
And it's a
Gotta
fair
vet 'em all.
question, right?
That's
Because
it.
people say
This
I'm
what
biased
DJ
because I'm
Envy
trying to
they
make a
making
commission.
everybody get
Well, guess what,
questioned.
guys? I'll make more money if the market does crash. So me telling you go out
He
here
was on
and
some
buy
of those
now,
conferences with
like
DJ Envy and
either which
Cesar.
way, it doesn't hurt a true professional like myself, someone who's been in this business for 20 plus years that has a book of business. I know how to make money in any of these type of markets, good market, bad market, left,
Bottom
right.
line, it's
My
about
sole
making bread.
purpose of being on the internet is one, to provide leads for my mortgage business, obviously, but two, to provide information so that way our people don't get screwed over. And a lot of our people over the past 20, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years have been screwed over in the real estate space because no one has ever taught us how to buy homes. So I'm always going to be biased of home ownership, because not just because it's something that I do for a living, is because I see the benefits as a homeowner of owning your own home. It's nothing better than that.
MG, you talk about 2008 and it's something that you were in the business, right? You were navigating through that. There was a crash. Shotty brought up about that monthly mortgage payment being 52% higher. During that crash, at the time, that percentage was 33%. And so we're about 22% higher than that period of time. Is this where we're headed? There's going to be a correction. There's going to be a crash. Obviously, you said you're going to make money either way. But I'm looking at it from the standpoint of the person that was saying, yes, you should buy a home. As
Fair
interest
use,
rates
fair
go
use.
higher, it becomes much harder to put down this 20% down payment. So it's kind of a dilemma, right? The interest rates are going up. I can't afford to it, so I might have to rent, but there might be a price point where I'm getting priced out in the event that there is a crash. There's a dilemma here that I'm not sure people are going to figure out how to navigate through.
So I'm glad you brought up 2008, and a lot of people like to bring that up, right? And try to compare statistics from that era to today. But you also can't forget that the mortgage industry was completely different than what it was today, right? People, if you had a pulse back then, you can get a mortgage. Now you're getting fully underwritten. So it's a different synopsis, right? Then also you got to look at
That's what Envy
the
gonna change
inventory
the underwriting.
from 2007, 2008, 2009. At any given one of those years, you had over 10, 11 months of supply on the market. You had 2 to 4 million foreclosures happening every single year, right? We don't have those type of situations in today's market. So the underlying factors are completely different if you're looking at 2008 housing market compared to 2023 housing market. Is completely different. Now, when you talk about income, people being able, like the inflation times, yeah, this is a completely different story, right? I don't think we've ever been through this at this level in our country where prices have rose this fast just for everything that you're looking to buy, no matter what it is, right? So I guess only time would tell what's really going to happen once that really starts kicking in and really kind of hurting people more than what is hurting them now. But I think, me personally, we're not going to see a huge flux of inventory hit the market because most of the mortgages right now, I think 70% of all mortgages are below 4% interest rate. Those folks are not rushing to sell their
Yeah,
property.
they're not going to sell.
Yeah.
Why would they?
I was going to say, is that the silver lining in all this, right? I was looking at the statistic. It's 80% of the outstanding U.S.
Nobody's selling the house that they got for that low.
Is under 5%.
Under 5%, yep.
So that means that you have a large population of people that have a pretty good mortgage rate, and they just are going to sit there and not do anything.
Yeah, but also look at this too. You have 50%, I think it's like 50% of all mortgages have at least 50% of equity in the property too,
So,
right? So now you have
got loans on their
low
house.
rates, top with most of Americans, majority of them have
they
50,
can't do it.
40, 30% equity in their homes, and home prices are still going up this year, 2 to 4, 5%, just depending on what the market is. No, we're not going to see 20, 25% appreciation year over year like we've seen during the pandemic years, but appreciation is still
Pandemic.
appreciation,
Yeah.
regardless. So you have these underlying factors that we didn't have in 2008. Folks didn't have, all of this equity in their homes back in those days. And then again, the most important factor is the qualification of yesterday's borrower compared to today's borrower. Today's borrower is being vetted and being underwritten more thoroughly. There's more rules, there's more regulations
They
to
add more
protect
rules to
the
the game.
homeowners. There's more modification
Every
programs
time
that
they
are out
catch a
there
scammer.
today's market that wasn't even in existence until the market crashed, and these programs had to be created to save people from losing their homes. Everybody got to realize the banks are not in the real estate business. They're in the lending business. They don't want to own your home. So they're going to do whatever it takes
BlackRock does,
to
though.
save their homes.
And if we can have an honest conversation,
Yeah, let's be real.
BlackRock is causing a lot of this inflation and pricing us out of the
He
market.
is
Like,
still mad
here's
about
an
what
amazing
Envy
concept.
said about it.
Let me run a
That's
housing
Envy,
market
man.
from 2002 to 2006 with all the ninja loans. The White House has to call me in to fix it, and then all of a sudden I'll change all of the modifications. So now I have a better book of buyers. When I say that I want to be the biggest landlord in the world, I can make sure that those loans are favorable as I'm pricing everybody out.
Yeah, I mean, look at all the institutional investors. They're all killing this market right now. Look at all how they buying properties sight unseen, right? Look at the Zillows of the world and all these different corporations that were buying all these single families over the past couple of years. Even before it started really getting a lot of news play, if you look at even 17, 18, 19, the institutional investors have been buying up real estate for a very long time, driving up prices. It's just now when the rates dropped, everybody started really getting, and the pandemic obviously helped everybody's attention. You ain't got nothing to do, you home, right? You're paying attention now. But this is not nothing new, Ian. Like, we all know this. Institutional investors are always going to continue to
Yeah, them
invest.
two
Their
get
job is to
personal.
make money, period, point blank. And the housing market is up for grabs. So they're going to continue to invest. And this is why, for me, I don't really see a crash happening. I don't really see, I see a correction still going to happen,
Correction has to happen,
right?
Yeah.
It's definitely, and what goes up has to come down at some point.
That's how the
Right?
market
Matt,
goes.
and just
Hold on, let me ask.
You
Yeah,
gotta,
I wanna ask a question.
manage
So,
in between.
Matt, but here's the thing, Matt.
Come on, Scotty.
Go ahead, Scotty.
Yeah, let's get to it.
I can tell how he started, Ian.
So all right. So I did some research, right? So you have a few cities like Syracuse, New York, where 60% of the homes were sold over asking. Buffalo,
Over
New York,
asking.
60% of the homes sold over asking. Aurora, Illinois, 67% of the homes sold over asking. Oakland, California, 64% of the homes sold over asking. Pomona, California, 76% of homes sold over asking. Worcester, Massachusetts, 76% of homes sold over asking. Lubbock, Texas,
Shout out to Texas.
100% of homes sold over asking price. Now, I understand that, you're of the train of thought to, buy real estate. That's important. But at some point in time, it becomes extremely unintelligent to buy things overvalued. That's just like the number one thing in life, right? When you see
Real
a
estate people
place where
still, they still
100%
gotta
of
make
the
money.
homes that are being sold over asking, and it's not Manhattan, it's not Miami, things start to not make sense anymore. And when things start to not make sense, then things quickly fall apart. So at some point, buying real estate at crazy prices is not sustainable, because an average house is going to be $10 million at this rate in 10 years, right? Like, people are paying $1 million to live
Crazy.
in
River
the hood.
Road.
Yeah. So, I mean, I get that you're an enthusiast for real estate. That's important. But I don't know, man. It's not looking too. It doesn't make a lot
It
of
makes
sense, to be
sense.
honest with you. And then when you factor in that there are major hedge funds and financial institutions that's buying up single family homes and blocks, and as I said, there's a shortage of homes. People aren't making money. It's a recession. Interest rates are high. Inflation is high. Real estate prices keep going up. It doesn't take a genius to figure out that this situation is not going well.
It's not sustainable.
Not sustainable. It's really not. So, what's your thoughts on that?
Great question.
Fair use for YouTube family.
So, when was these stats, these people, these towns?
Technical
That's
difficulty.
what July 2023.
July of 2020, from July 2022 to July 2023.
He trying to technical difficulties. You know what I'm saying?
So let me tell you this, and let me be clear, and let me be on record.
Fair use. It's got a little buffering, internet buffering going on.
For the 100th time, I will never tell nobody to spend 100%.
Let this internet gather itself, but yeah, he talking
Over
trying to
asking
gather itself
price.
about people.
I'm not even telling you to pay
double.
asking price.
They said that these places, the people charged them 100% over what the price was.
Period. This is why I said earlier you need to focus on the deal. Then you need to know how to analyze a deal and know if you are overpaying or not overpaying. Now, yes, any type of real estate that you've purchased in the past 4 to 5 years technically is going to be overpriced, right? Things haven't been sustainable. When you have 25% appreciation year over year, that's not sustainable, not at all. Now, for people to continue to buy, and if you're telling me this stat was from July of 2022 to July 2023, and people in 2023 are still paying 100%, 90%, 50% of the sales are still going over asking, we have to dig deeper into those markets, right? Why is that happening? Is there a lot of supply for the amount of buyers that are out there? Like, what's really going on? So I know those stats, they sound crazy, but real estate is a local business. It's not national. So I don't know what's going on in those particular cities to give you that type of information to justify why those home prices or those home sales have went. I mean, what town you said was 100% over asking? I've never even heard a stat.
Lubbock, Texas.
Lubbock,
Texas. I've
There's
never
a lot of
even, like,
people
let's keep
moving
it
to
real. I've
Texas,
never even
so
heard
they
of
up
no
and they
town
they
ever having
up
every
and
home that went for sale go 100% over market.
Exactly. That's my point.
That makes
That's
no
my point.
sense. So
That's my
so
point.
what's really happening in that town to create that type of demand to where buyers feel in a market right now where interest rates are much higher?
Drop some in the comments if you moved to Texas recently, because that's one of the places on the map where they say they rising the rates of houses up 100%. So they know a lot of people moving there, the influx. So they're in those little areas that people don't know where they're going. So boom, so they hitting them. So it's going down.
And sellers are willing to negotiate more. Why are these folks doing that? That I can't answer. Now, do I agree with you? Does it make sense? Hell no. It doesn't make sense for nobody that's watching this live or on a replay to pay anything over asking price on a property, no matter what the market is.
So never pay over asking.
Why would you?
I'm asking you. I'm asking you.
No.
Matt,
No.
He trying to say, but if
I
he's
wanna go
selling
back
the
to this
house and
correction
that's the
thing,
price,
because
he
I'm just
gonna
thinking
get his money
theoretically,
now.
right? We talked about 80% of the people having an interest rate below 5%. You said 50% of them have equity inside the home, which means that people are staying put. If people are staying put, that means they're not selling their homes, right? Because why would you sell your home if you're going to have to get a higher interest rate? If people don't sell homes, that tells me that the inventory for homes is going to be a lot smaller, which means that they're going to increase the price of homes.
Correct.
So where does a correction play in that? Because that's what it looks like. That's where we're headed, right? If the interest rates stay at 8% for people who have 750 credit, we're talking maybe 9 to 10% for people who are at 650. We're not going to sell. We're going to stay. Prices are going to get increased because the supply is so short. So where's the correction play in that?
Forex.com, committed to helping improve your trading skills with innovative tools. Our exclusive performance.
Good question.
Fair
And
use.
this is the $1 million question that I've been saying to everybody. This is why I don't feel home prices will quote unquote crash. We've already seen the correction started happening. We had a 3-4% equity appreciation, I think, year over year, somewhere around there. From the year prior to that, we was over 20% nationally. So we've already seen the market contract. Now, do I still think there's room for more? Maybe 1 to 2% of a correction. If rates stay in this 8 to 10% range, absolutely. But like you said, Troy, people are always going to buy real estate. There's always a need. Someone has to move, someone needs to relocate, family size is getting bigger, and people who make money will still buy and seek shelter, and they want to.
Oh, they gonna keep
where they
selling
live,
houses
right?
now. They just
Those
saying
people
when
are the ones
that's about
who are
decision
going
making. The
to
game gonna be the game.
keep the market going. Now, for folks who don't need to sell, they're not going to sell. There's no reason. They're going to take home equity line of credits out, and they're going to either improve their homes and make it better for them, or they're going to use that money to invest and do whatever the hell they want to do, start business, etc. So that's what we're
Get the
going to
house,
start
get the
seeing
money,
more and more.
invest.
More people tapping into their equity to do other things with it.
People
But
living
I don't
off
really
the
see, like and I'm on record saying
Get
this,
in
I
debt that
don't
way
really
too.
see the market going down too much lower than what it is right now from an appreciation standpoint. And again, appreciation is not declining, it's not crashing. It's just it's not appreciating as much as it was in prior years. But we're still going to have a 1 to 3. Normal real estate appreciates 1 to 4% depending on the market annually. And I think people forget that. Real estate is not something that's accustomed to appreciating 10, 15, 20%.
Year over year, it's insane.
Yeah, year over year, that's crazy. If you at 7 to 10% 7 years ago of appreciation 1 year, that's a home run.
Yeah.
That was a home run.
That's the dream sees.
So I think we all have to kind of retrain our thought to what prior to COVID looked like in the real estate space to understand we are just getting back to some sort of normalcy. When I first came into the mortgage business, we were doing deals, refinancing people out of 10, 11% interest rates. This is 2003. This is 20 years ago. Refinancing people out of 10%, 9%, going into sevens. First house I ever purchased, I had a 7.25% interest rate on it.
Yeah.
So like these interest rates might not seem normal. They are definitely higher than what we're accustomed to. But if you look at the historic interest rate charts over the last 40, 50, 60 years,
yeah, we're on par where we should be.
We on par, right where rates typically are. It's just with the information out there from people like myself who speak about real estate constantly from shows like Market Monday, who bring this information, it's now on the forefront and the top of our mind. But this is kind of normal, y'all. What's not normal is just all this inflation and everything else that's coming along with the economy right now.
Yeah, and then we had 12 years of quantitative easing. Interest rates were damn near negative at one point. That's not normal. I mean, I read today the Mortgage Bankers Association saying prices will increase for probably another 2 or 3 years. If they knock interest rates down to 5%, they'll go up. But like the issue is the institutions. Okay, I'm gonna be super honest. There's only 7 stocks on earth that is moving the entire world. All of the big funds and big hedge funds, they all work together. They'll pretend like they hate each other, like how they do in the NBA, but then you'll see them partying at the end of the season on the yacht together. You can't all have competing interests in all of those shares. So some of the institutional players have to go to real estate before the entire stock market collapses.
Shifting.
Voila. Big short part 2.
Voila.
Diversification of assets.
Voila.
Sorry, the game is the game. That's why I kept telling you. Everyone's like, yo, why Apple and Microsoft? They're 2 of the only companies on the face of the earth that have protection internationally and amongst all hedge funds and agreements that we'll pile money into these 2, but we'll let everything else fail. Why you think all of these hedge funds are starting to buy up Bieber's catalog and now he's hooping in Drew League now? Some of the smaller players, C players, you go get in the music business. Go ahead. We're going to get in real estate. We're going to let y'all die holding the Russell 3000. Voila. But voila in chat.
Well,
this is the way the game is played, and then we're having the proper players.
Magic emoji.
And I'm glad you're saying that. Even look at, since we're talking about institutional investors, look at they're buying single families for a reason, right? Think about the zoning laws that's been changing all over America to allow accessory dwelling units. You have some areas where you can put multiple ADUs on a single family property right now. So I wouldn't be surprised in 5 to 10 years you start seeing a lot of ADUs popping up on these institutional investors' properties because they're just taking full advantage of what's happening right now.
They buying people single families.
If you start really
and
looking
turn them
at
into
this, look,
apartments.
I always say follow the leader, right? The big boys are buying real estate. I don't see why we shouldn't, as a community, buy real estate, but just be smart about it.
Yeah.
So I'm always gonna be
For
buying.
the record, you're not telling them to buy at 8.5%, right?
No, I'm telling you not to buy over 100% over asking price, like Rashad was just mentioning these stats. What I'm telling you is, if you are going to buy at 8.5%,
it is what it is. Just don't be dumb
what you're
about
getting yourself into.
That's what
Because these people want their money, rain, sleet, hell, snow. They ain't trying to hear you ain't got that mortgage payment. That bill come on the 15th of the prior month.
They say they
before
want that
payment is
mortgage
due.
regardless.
So, like for me, if you're gonna buy, just be smart about it.
Can't
And if
be
you
late.
can't afford it, sit on the sideline and just wait your turn and stack up your money.
Bam. If you can't
For sure.
afford it,
Matt, we appreciate you coming.
Thank
And
you,
the last
brother.
thing I'll say is, and I don't want to involve Matt in this if he wants to get involved in it, but it's a elephant in the room, obviously, where a lot of people have been making comments in the chat. I read the
to
chat.
speak on envy. They got to speak on it.
I do.
Hold on, I got your back. What's happening? Hold on.
Breaking news
Hit
alert.
the like button.
Hit the like
Hit
button.
the like button.
Y'all go
And
live.
share.
MLS
Troy Rashad, Ian, and Matt are fighting on live. It's the end of an era. Come on. I got you.
Hit the
I
like
bet.
button.
We are live, huh?
Hit the like button.
I prefer the BS. I prefer it. I actually prefer the BS.
Rashad loves the BS.
He does.
Passionately.
No, he does.
Passionately.
I give him that. He
He does.
consistent with that.
Passionately.
He consistent with that.
Passionately.
Consistent with that.
Passionately.
Oh
Look,
man.
obviously there's people. The number one question is, what's up with Cesar? What's up with Envy? I don't know. It looked did he scam? Looks like it.
Ain't no
Looks
look
like it.
Listen,
That's what it looks like. So I mean, I don't know what you want me to comment about. It looks like he scammed. Looks like it.
I'll comment on it.
It has the characteristics.
I mean,
of it.
it has all the signs
all
pointing to it.
Yeah, the characteristics.
It
of it.
didn't look like it before.
Anytime I've been in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York, I ain't hear one person bring up that man. You can't make them houses pop up. You can't make the allegations go away. You can't make her orgasm. How you make something?
Yo, this guy's crazy.
My first question, my dad asked me if there's 26.
Yeah, shoot the shot.
We gotta stay on.
Yeah, let's keep it cordial.
We gotta keep it in the boundaries.
2,600 units. If that, but why play all the industry behind the scenes then?
Bro,
if there's 2,600 units available, why when I went to River Park, nobody in River Park ever seen none of the 2,600 units?
Yo, alleged.
So look,
Rashad,
you brought this up, so I'll say my piece on this. It's sad. It's look, I was on stage. There's no denying this, right? Like,
let me just put it out there.
I was there at these seminars. I was on stage. I was speaking. Like, I became popular on social media because of being a part of the real estate tours. So for me, in all honesty, this hits me a little bit different probably than everybody else because I was there on the road.
So he hoping the fans don't look in the issue.
Years.
Did you see any sign?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not, because there was always the same message. And I've been in, look, I'm not here defending nobody. I just want to say this right now, real quick. Okay, that's my disclaimer. I'm just telling you from my POV. Nah, I gotta say that because in the comments with like I don't need it right now.
You gotta be careful. Yep.
I'm in a good space in my life right now. I don't need the bullshit right now. Okay?
Yeah.
Like, I
So
don't
what
need
I'm
the
saying
fans
is
in my
from
shit.
what I've seen from my POV, there was no upselling on stages while I was a part of the seminars. You guys seen it from your own
Dissociate
two eyes,
yourself.
a couple ones that you've been there as well. It was
He
no
said,
like
y'all was there too.
elaborate. Like when you go to seminars and conferences now, when you see like
Drop some in the
the
comments.
upsell happen, like none of
Yeah.
that was happening. You know what I'm saying? So, and I've heard Indy say millions of times in public and in private conversations, he doesn't take no money from nobody, this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. So
You
for
can go ahead
me,
with that.
I did not see any of this coming. Now, again, it is sad that this is happening because this is something.
Once again, everybody got to disassociate themselves. Timeline, they always running together. They was doing conferences together. Like he told them, y'all was there too. But Envy got to quit going with the, we know how the streets go, man. You ain't take no money, but when your connect give you that pack, he don't see every sale you make. But if you took a piece of money, if he paid you back, you took some money. So let's knock it off.
Someone that the people trusted. Like these folks would come to these seminars, and you guys just had Market Mondays yesterday. You see how the people they love us. You know what I'm saying? Like they keep us at a high regard, and that trust was built, and then the shit has just been broken.
They hit they
badly.
movement hard.
And it sucks. And I feel bad for all of the people who invested, trusting, thinking that it was going to be something, and it's not now. So when I look at this whole situation, I'm truly sad by it because I was a person that was there. I've seen it with my own two eyes. And to see how certain things are playing out on social media right now, it just doesn't sit well with me. Like I hate it. Like I hate it for like everything that I thought this thing represented. You know what I'm saying? Like it represented empowerment for our people. I've been doing mortgages for 20 years, bro. I just got on the internet 4 or 5 years ago. Like this is something that I'm passionate about. I love real estate. I know what it did to my life, what it did to my family lives and other people's lives. And when you see something like this from people that look like us, it hurts, man. Like it hurts. And there's no way around it. And I know, everybody got their own feelings, but this is just my opinion. I hate this shit. And like you said, Rashad and Troy, you both said, if it looked like a scam, it smelled like a scam, it might be a scam. I don't know. I can only go off the information that's being presented online. And the courts are obviously they're going to dig through everything and they're going to put more information out there.
Everybody
And
they mess with, they gonna check you
accountability
out
needs
too.
to be happening. People are going to go to jail behind this. There's no way around it. You can't take that much money from the community and not be held accountable for it. And this is the one thing I'm gonna say. Which hurts me the most is like, yo, if we're gonna raise, and this is to all the real estate people who are gonna watch this now. If you're gonna go out here and build up your social influence, don't abuse your influence. Don't abuse your superpowers. That's something that, Rashad used to say this to us years ago in our huddles, right? Can't abuse your superpowers. Your superpowers is influence. Your superpowers is that people are trusting you. And especially in the real estate space, we have to understand that our people have been behind the 8 ball in real estate historically. There were laws put in place for us not to buy real estate. So when you're out here doing your thing and you're gaining this popularity, getting this influence, don't abuse it, man. If you're gonna take somebody's money, nigga, do what the fuck you say you're gonna do, B. Like, I don't understand this shit. Like, how can you do this? Like, and look, he has to have
Because
the
the
skill
game.
set was not there before.
Well,
If we're going to keep it above.
I can't even say that because I don't know
He
what
know how to
he
make
was
money.
really
He just
I
telling
did
got
what
you.
he
two
did.
people.
He's know the game
I
now.
can text it to
Don't
Troy
shit
or
on him.
Shot. I got two people in Red Panda. Shot to Luis. One of my guys done 350 with him.
Bro, I know the same way you know people, I
Yeah,
know people
like-
too. But for me, what I look at is again,
Says people
when
lost
was
150.
all of this happening? Like when was these meetings? Like when was this going? Like it's a lot that I still can't wrap my mind around because again, I didn't see this while we was on tours and
You
I
wanna
didn't
make
see
sure
it
you
with my
say
own
that.
2 eyes. But
Yeah.
I know several people who've invested with him. And I'm like, damn, when the hell did you even meet him? Like these are the things that like I don't know when this was happening. And it sucks when you hear like I got people who look 150, 200 down. I'm like, damn, yo, like what the fuck?
If
But-
people bringing the money in a bag to you with no contract,
That's on them. that much money.
I
If
mean,
we done all did business
If
with
you
each
dumb
other,
enough
like,
just bring anybody,
I'm gonna be less
I
performative.
wouldn't get him
I'm
to
but that's what I'm
100,000.
saying. Like,
I
if we
wouldn't
are
care who
going
was with him.
to
The Pope
put
could be with
ourselves
him.
in a position to be the authority in the spaces that we are in, then we can't abuse our superpowers. Like, period.
I don't think that. I'm gonna say this. I think Envy was smart enough to never take money. I do believe that because Envy had money prior to. But this is why I always scream.
If he invested with him, he took money.
Where
If he
was
a partner, he
everybody
took
at that
money.
was making all this money pre-COVID? Let me see them kids. Let me see the wife. Let me see what that debt is, that debt to income ratio. Everybody talk the big boss talk until it's time to get the money back.
When they was giving all that COVID money,
It ain't many people who
everybody
even
lost
give
it.
out money. So where all the money Big Willie ish come from?
I will say this. Like Matt said, it's an extremely unfortunate situation because I seen somebody like real estate is a scam, and that's just the craziest thing in the
That's
world to
what
say.
he's
Like,
thinking.
It's nut shit to say that.
but I'm just saying, but that just comes from
Just
all of the,
trust.
that comes from the internet of just
Yeah.
a variety of different things, just being uneducated.
That's a
But
lot of emotion speaking.
yeah,
Being
like,
uneducated.
real estate, real estate is 100%. Everybody has real estate because either you're involved in it one way or the other. You're
Yep.
living somewhere, so you're either owning where you live, or you're paying somebody else's mortgage as a renter,
Facts.
or if you're homeless, you're sleeping on street property that's owned by the city. So everybody's involved in real
Even
estate.
digitally, we leasing
So
YouTube right
that-
now. Like,
Yeah.
That's a fact. So
yeah.
like I always say, man, there's no benefit. There's no benefit in taking people's money because it always comes back to you. That's why I said there's no benefit. I said I had this whole rant 3 months ago, and then people were like, of course there's a benefit. The benefit is that you're scamming. What I mean by it, since I know that you got to
Scam
kind
was
of
like,
break
oh, it's a
things down for
benefit.
people online. What I mean by it is that there's no benefit because it always comes back to you.
Facts. It's gonna get you in
99.9% of
there.
the time, you're not going to be able. Even Madoff, he ran it for 30 years, but he ended up dying in jail. You can't get away with something like that
Inside,
forever. Like
yeah.
you can't. Like it has no benefit in the long run. It's short term. It's short term, and you can trick people. Like, I mean, if it looks good, people going to think it looks good. If everything checks out, like you can't. No, you're not a private investigator.
That's
You
why
don't
they
know what
say
every
vet
single
your
person
people.
does. Like,
Yeah.
if somebody's
Do your
vouching for him
homework.
that is highly successful and has a wide range and a good, voice, and he's saying that he's actually in business with the person. It's not just vouching for him, like saying like I'm actually in business with the person. So showing you properties, bringing you to an
When you
office.
business, you taking money.
I mean, of course, you're not gonna really question it too much.
The
So
feds know that if
yeah,
y'all.
for all you. So all right, so everybody wanted to comment on the situation. We commented. I don't know if that's gonna make the situation better.
Yeah, it's
I
unfortunate. It's
don't know if it's
unfortunate.
gonna change anything.
The alphabet boys are involved. There's not much.
That's
You just
why
gotta sit
everybody
back
be
and
careful
hopefully
what they say.
let it play out and pray for everybody who's been taken advantage of. Hopefully everybody's made whole. It's an unfortunate situation, but like you said, it's up. It's in the hands of the court at a certain point.
And even Envy, he said some very interesting things about us, but I don't take anything personal. It's
Yeah.
it's not about me. It's bigger than me. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not about us. Whatever he said about us is cool. I don't have a personal vendetta
He
against him.
said
I
he
don't want to
married
personally, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't
They like,
have a
nah, we ain't
personal
got nothing to
issue.
do with that.
But it's about if people got hurt, then that's bigger than what he said about if he made us or
Because you're gonna make it worse for all of us. I remember when I told you Charlamagne called and was like, "Yo, this is gonna hurt everybody."
No,
And I
this
don't know
is
if
bad
the
for business.
if the other
He didn't
person.
say Charlamagne called him and say, yo, this finna hurt everybody. So Charlamagne sitting there, he know his man fucked up, but he ride with him. But this set back that whole little financial movement that started after the pandemic when everybody was getting that free money.
Person attached to him was even paid to do that. I don't know.
Well,
I
mean,
do know
I
when we
think
collectively start to get into an industry and we start to collect assets, all of a sudden something happens to destroy the market, to make us get out of it, or we get demonized or priced out of it. And guess what? All of the assets become available to other people, and now we got to pay 3x on it.
But I will say this: it's best. This is the last thing I'll say because we got other stuff to talk about.
They
But
vetting us for
it's never
sure.
a good idea to give people money. I never asked anybody for money. When I was a financial advisor, I never asked anybody for money. You never wrote a check out to Rashad Bilal Enterprises, Rashad Bilal LLC.
Yeah.
No, I'll give you advice and I'll tell you to open a brokerage account with Fidelity or open a brokerage account with TD Ameritrade, or
Yeah.
get life insurance from New. You don't
He sell you
need
a
to pay
product.
me.
Get life
And
insurance.
do it.
You,
like that's always a red
you ain't
flag,
buying
right?
cheap
So
life insurance.
that is
They
just
give
best
you the
practices
month.
in life. It's never a good idea to write a check out to Matt Garland and Associates and have him, like, if y'all set a company up, then that might be different. I'm just saying, as far as just in best practices, this is bigger than just the real estate. This is just in life, right?
In
Like,
general, yep.
you don't want to do that. That's something that is not usually beneficial. That's something that usually is gonna be bad for you.
Just giving somebody money in the name they say.
But okay,
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Can I have the final word?
Yeah,
Matt,
final
I'll just-
word. Final word on this whole situation. Like I said, it's a sad situation. I hate to see this happening. It sucks. It's a black eye for the whole community, the whole real estate community. And just to
Facts.
piggyback on what you were saying about, real estate is a business where people OPM, right? Other people's money. It's something that investors do. They borrow private money. But I would tell anybody in the real estate space, especially you black and brown, you better have your ducks in a row. You better have your shit together. You better make sure your paperwork is paperworking, because this is not a good situation that has happened. And if you
Yeah,
are
they
going to
about to
raise
comb
capital, you
everybody.
need to do it the right way. You need to get legitimate, create a fund, do it the right way. We got to stop cutting corners in our community. Like there's no place for things like this to happen, man. And it's sad and it sucks that I hate that this is happening. And like you said, and I just hope everybody can be made whole, and things could get resolved, because it's just a terrible situation, and I hate this for our people. Like I hate this for our people. So now that I've spoken about it, y'all can all stay out of my comments too and stop asking me about this shit. I don't care if Envy said he made me. Like, it doesn't matter to me. Like, leave me alone about this subject, please, and let's let the law be the law and do what they got to do at this point.
So yo, man, there it is right there, man. Let me know what y'all think, man. Drop something in the comments, bro. You know what I'm saying? All of them. So at the end of the day, it is what it is, So hey, watch where you put your money at, man. And if you know, GoFundMe is not life insurance, man. So if you in the streets, put some money on your head before somebody else do, bro. And we out, man. And we're gonna bring y'all the content that's this is a channel we're gonna bring y'all content that can help. We're gonna bring that fire content to y'all. But we also gonna help promote these other YouTube channels that's doing their thing. You can come here and check out their content too. All right, we